Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Good morning and
welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And I'm April Martinez. And what the Friday?
I know what the Friday is going on here. It's been a minute.
You forgot you're not alone.
You know what? I'm sorry, man.
I'll take over the show. You
Bye.
guys, guys are my guests. Welcome to my show.
No.
But good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good
How we
morning.
doing?
We are doing fine.
Yeah, that's good. It's
morning.
Friday.
It's Friday. Do we
Friday.
feel Friday?
Of course, once it's Friday, I feel Friday. I think Friday comes with its own energy.
I put on my Paul and Board t-shirt and I felt super confident.
We've
And
been
I
talking
love
about
that
that
shit.
this
Yes.
morning, guys. I love it.
Yes.
Apparently, Paul's nickname when he was younger was also Nabor.
I see
Yes,
it.
that was
figure.
I see
Nabor.
it.
Not even because I look like him, but it's just that in
iconic
Belize, yes, in Belize they find all kind of things to attach your name. That's also you know.
Yeah.
I am well aware. You don't have to tell
I mean,
me.
her first name is April.
Exactly.
Right, and that's it.
And that's
the
That's
end of
it
the
right there.
conversation
Like that's as far as we need to go. My last name is Daly. Go
Oh.
figure.
Yeah, so we do that in Belize. So Nabor was a thing for me.
But Sam, what do we have planned out for today?
We have quite a few fun topics to jump into, starting off with our friends from Grace making a delicious corned beef spaghetti. Looking forward to that. Also, staying safe with DigiBusiness cybersecurity. And we'll be trying our hand at musical charades, Belizean style. I will admit I immediately got nervous about that. And finally, can you speak Gen Alpha? I could barely speak Gen Z.
I could barely speak millennial sometimes.
That's a lie.
I feel like I could barely speak sometimes to do all of that.
I beg to differ. I think of everyone here, Paul is the one with the least trouble
Oh my
with speaking. But we do want to open our show with the usual What the Friday style. We have some topics to jump into that we will be discussing, and we also want to remind you that the call lines are also open, or the phone lines are also open. And so let's get into those topics, April.
Yes,
what will we be
indeed.
talking about?
So we have the 5 things that you need to know before you leave your door this morning, starting with abuse of authority or abuse of officers. Who are the ones crossing the line? Of course, our very own Paul Lopez was attacked with a machete during a chopping investigation. Has St. John Vianney Primary School been abandoned? Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill passes the U.S. House of Representatives. And lastly, the countdown to KTV, the Remix Season 7 live show continues. But we really want to start off with, the abuse of authority or abuse of officers. Who's crossing the line?
Yeah, so we spoke about this yesterday, Paul, me and you, the videos that we've been seeing circulating on social media. Of course, you would know that this comes on the heels of several reports coming out of Keycocker, the islands really, where persons are describing police brutality being a situation that is more rampant than necessary. We also saw in an update in our newscast last night, the Justice of the Peace Association in Keycocker come out and speak more in detail about what they thought of the video that was circulating on social media involving a young man being viciously slapped by a police officer. We gave further context about that yesterday as well. Of course, this involved a traffic violation, and then of course a scuffle with a police officer, an individual spitting on a police officer, and the reaction from that officer resulted in what you saw on video. The conversation regarding that still continues. Persons are saying, hey, police brutality is taking place here in Belize. In this case, we're seeing it live on video in Keycocker.
Can we just remind viewers once again that the phone lines are open? We'll have that number up on the screen. It's 280-0016. There's been a lot of conversation surrounding this topic on social media, just on the highways and the byways, if you would. And so we're bringing that conversation to you this morning, right here on our What the Friday. And we'd love to hear from you, your thoughts on whether there is an abuse of authority in your view in Keycocker, or whether the police officers are actually facing a real challenge in terms of enforcing the law, and their force, the force that we're seeing at least this week alone in 2 incidents, is justified. So the question is, who's crossing the line? And we'd like your thoughts on it.
We could really make that a general statement as well. When we think of police brutality, this has been a topic that has been discussed widely across the country even.
And for some folks that have been coming forward and the topics that we've been sharing across the media, you know, some people in the comments say that, you know, this is something that's been happening for years. It's just been caught now on camera. People are now coming forward to the media and having this open conversation more and more. And you know, when we've had the previous Compal on the show, we've asked certain questions, of course, in terms of the training that officers get. And I think last week we've said that 6 months is not enough, but we do have a caller on the line ready to share their thoughts with us. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Share with us your thoughts.
Yes, I believe that the public supposed to at least respect the duty of the police officer. I mean, if the police officer gives you a ticket, or if the police officer need to question you, I mean, it's just a yes or no. You don't have to answer any question unless you're to do so, no? But we as the public, we're supposed to learn to cooperate along with the police, and we will not have the pushback and front with police officers and end up in this type of situation.
Do you think that though there may be police officers out there that use excessive force that's unwarranted or unnecessary in some cases?
I'll tell you the truth. I'm a special constable, and I am a justice of the peace. And I have worked in the shoes of a police officer and in the shoe of a public. And I believe that we as the public, we supposed to understand the duty of a police, because the police officers have a very, very big responsibility on their shoulders. And hence with the police cannot put a single finger on any member of the public, because that's assault.
Based on the video that you saw there, caller, do you think that the police officer was justified to react the way that he did? The reports are that he was spat on by the person he was trying to restrain.
If according to the information, if we see, let's say, American news, the police officer, they are well trained. If someone spits on you as a police officer, even though they are low rating you in that type of way, you could easily walk away and still come afterwards and charge the person, because at the end of the day, that person is going to face charge for whatever harm is caused to the police. Because if you don't have the enough force to deal with that person and you are overpowered, this is the type of situation they are going to end up in.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, caller, so much for your thoughts.
You're welcome.
Well, Well, that's really the conversation, I think, and the debate that's taking place online. People are wondering if the police officer was justified in reacting the way that he did, and others are saying, look, you're a police officer, you have a duty to serve, and there are certain training that takes place that should allow you to not behave in that way, even if you feel that you were disrespected.
I think as a community, though, for a while now, we've kind of been at odds, and it's kind of like a chicken and the egg situation where we don't really know who started what, when it started, in terms of who's abusing their authority, or if there's an abuse of officers. But there is a clear disrespect on both angles, I believe, where as a community we don't feel safe by the persons that are supposed to protect us domestically, and then of course police officers we've seen time and time again in videos and so forth that abuse their authority. So at the end of the day, we as a community, we don't respect our officers when we countlessly see these videos showing up on the media. And then as officers, well, am I going to abuse my authority, or am I human? I'm going to react in a particular way.
We have
Right?
Dion Flowers online commenting saying, when the young man jumped out of the golf cart and put his hands up, he surrendered. The ordeal should have been finished at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that I disagree with that comment, because they are not showing any sign of our aggressiveness. They're not showing any signs that they're not trying to be arrested and so forth. So I do agree with that line, and I don't know what would warrant somebody to come to me and aggressively push me against a wall and put my hands behind my back.
I also wonder
right?
what brought the young man to the point of spitting as well on the police officer, because oftentimes we see these videos but we don't necessarily hear what is being said.
Yeah.
Just to poke the bear a little bit, I wonder how much we consider how stressful the job of an officer is. How much encounters these officers, and I'm asking questions, right?
Yes, of course.
How much encounters these officers may have had prior to this one incident caught on camera, how much similar encounters they may have had. I wonder how much we question the fact that police officers like us are humans, and they too have, I would imagine, challenges in their personal lives that they have to navigate, and how much of confrontations with the public and lawless individual combined with personal issues, how much of that leads to this type of excessive abuse. I even question if there are mechanisms in place within the police department to ensure that our officers are well.
Your mental health.
Physically, emotionally, mentally, and I even question if there is in fact such mechanisms in place or avenues in place, if our officers are taking advantage of them, or if they're being encouraged to take advantage of them, so that when conflicts arise, which naturally they will arise, because these are tense, a very volatile situation, they will arise. The officers may be in a better position to react and respond, perhaps in the manner the caller suggested. Walk away, understanding that at the end of the day, you as a police officer, you have the upper hand in this. You hold a great deal of authority. And
it's up to you to show a level of restraint as well.
Right.
You are a model citizen.
Your power
Right?
is not in the strength, your physical strength. That's not where your power is as a police officer. Your power is not in your physical strength. Your power is within the laws that governs our country and the laws that you seek to enforce. Right? And so perhaps it's a change in the mindset. in approaching these situations
but I have a
that we
question
need
for
to
you,
think
Paul,
about?
and this might sound a little callous, or maybe I might seem, I don't know. What does a police officer do? What is the job?
To enforce the law. It's a law enforcement officer.
And what is that law?
Well,
Right? And no.
There's
I ask the
criminal
questions in the
laws,
sense because at the end of the day, I think that when you are a person in a particular community and you see the police patrolling, it's supposed to make you feel safe,
Yeah.
right? But in some instances, it has the opposite effect.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm asking, what is the job of a police officer? And the conversation right now that we are having is along the lines of abuse of authority or abuse of officers, right? Who is crossing the line in certain cases. And it comes at the heels of these different stories that we've been
And you-
highlighting in the media.
You know,
And you
though,
can
April-
call in. Let me just remind viewers again that you can call in at 280-0016. The phone lines are open, and we want to hear your thoughts on this, especially those who you're out there in Kikaker. We hear from the village council. We're hearing from the Justice of the Peace Association out there as well. And we want to know out there in Kikaker and even in San Pedro, how prevalent are these encounters, and what's your thoughts or suggestion on how to fix it?
So April, you were speaking of something that I think is so interesting for us to dive into when we think of the way that police officers or law enforcement officers are perceived. In certain communities, there are different reactions to them. And I think it's almost generational as well. When you think of certain communities looking at police officers without even having a terrible experience with one, automatically assuming that they are their opposition. Automatically assuming that they are there to target them. And I think that's a deeper conversation with a lot more nuances than what is actually taking place here. We saw on video an individual commit a traffic violation. I think in general, in a situation like that, you could potentially either be defensive and say, well, this didn't happen, or I'm trying to take the matter into my own hand. This does not need to get to a point where traffic officials or a police officer needs to get involved. There are individuals like that that really don't want to go through these authorities. They just want to handle the matter on their own. I do want to take the call that's coming in right now, and then we can continue the conversation after. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, beautiful ladies. That's so beautiful, Paul.
Good morning.
I hope you guys are having a good day. I just want to say I agree with you. I think that when you're a police officer, you should be held at a higher level. But there are human beings, like Paul said, and certain things might told me, spit on man, kick my man, and slap my man. You make your own, and sometimes you proper dance quickly.
The call is a little bit choppy or broken up, so we didn't quite get your full thought there, caller.
Basically, spit power man, right?
So then, do you believe, caller, that the police officer was justified in his action because that was the ultimate disrespect that a person could give to another? I think we might have lost him. All right. Well,
I mean, the caller makes a point, and one of the other questions that I ask as well is, when did we get to a place as a society where the collaboration between the community and the police officers is at a point where basically there's no longer this cohesive approach to policing within a community.
And that's where community policing came about.
That's
why that came
so
about.
I think that's a good point.
Space,
so that's where community policing came about.
Because of that exact conversation that we were having before the caller.
There is a comment here on the YouTube live that says, makes us wonder who is training them. Not enough discipline, training, and control of oneself. So another comment is saying that the Belizean police are too short-tempered. So, it goes back to a conversation that I think we were having a couple weeks ago in terms of training. Is 6 months enough? What are they being trained on? Do you know what the police academy training is?
There's
like?
there's a heavy focus on human rights.
Right.
I could say that for a fact. But it takes me back to my original point. I always have to spin back to this because I could know all the human rights, you could know all human rights, but can we apply them in a manner that is that calms or quells tense situations when we are burdened by all that the job requires of us on a day-to-day basis? So it could be, in my view, 6 months training. It could be, in my view, 12 months training. It could be, in my view, 2 years training. It could be training for 5 years in the police training academy, isolated. When you get out of that academy and you're placed in the real world to face real people with real situations on a day-to-day basis, day in, day out, it becomes challenging, right?
I would also take it a step further, Paul, and say, is the pay worth it?
Yeah, that's another conversation. That's another conversation. I personally wouldn't. This one is tricky because at the end of the day, you're hired to protect and serve, right? And I don't think the pay will ever be worth it to do such a task. And so it is in my personal view now that you have to go beyond looking at what am I making and what can I
But
give
it's hard
for
for people
what
to do
I'm,
sometimes.
and I understand, and I'm probably sitting from a privilege. I'm probably speaking from a privileged position.
But you know what?
because
I want
I'm in here.
I want to stick a pin right there and segue into another topic, because when you say is the pay worth it, I think that's where passion comes in too. You were just assaulted on the job yesterday, Paul, and you are a journalist out doing your job, and this is what could potentially happen.
Yeah.
You can't predict every situation.
No.
And I do want to open the line to you guys to give your thoughts on that as well. I don't think this is something that you would ever imagine would have happened to you. You've been working in this field for 7 years, and you went to cover a story in Shaibe Village of an individual that was also assaulted by another person. Upon doing your interview, you were kind of like, they were trying to bargain to give an interview for some bears, and you rejected that, saying that that's not how it works, and you were immediately met with violence. Talk about what that experience was like.
Yeah, so it's interesting. You started, you pivoted by asking if the pay is worth it.
I mean,
Right? That's where she's like, I'm going to stick
more
a
on
pin in
the
that.
lines. Well, it's not necessarily the Channel 5 pay I'm referring to. I think I'm referring to, one, we sign up for a job.
Right.
And oftentimes you think you deserve more. One, I think everybody would say that they need more money. But this is where your passion comes in, I think, now, because you are there to do something. You care about gathering information and informing the country.
I get where you're coming from. In a situation like this, I try to look at the bigger picture, and I try to ask the why question, right? And the why question takes the attention off of me, and it puts the attention on what's happening in the community. It begs the certain questions like, why are people prone to violence in this community? Why are people leaning on alcohol and substance abuse in this community? What is it doing in terms of deteriorating this community and its ability to grow and build and contribute to society, right? And what I've observed is that there is an unchecked issue where public drinking is concerned, excessive use of alcohol is concerned, an unchecked issue where violent acts are looked at or turn a blind eye to, if you would, even from authorities
Yeah.
in many cases.
I had asked you when we came in just to ensure that you were okay, because you
Yeah.
said that you were slightly hurt, but not in a very
It's not in a
bad
major way.
manner. But I asked you what happened next. What
Yeah.
did anybody do anything
So,
about it?
so I'll just say, right, that in the aftermath of the incident, in the immediate aftermath of the incident, I made a phone call to the police.
Okay.
And the person on the line very casually asked me if I'm still at the location, right? The operator on the line. And I said, yes, is it possible to send an officer or a team down so that we could figure out what's happening here?
Yeah.
I still have to get my job done in this community. And the officer said, you have to come to the police station. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I could do that right now. I have a job to finish, right? Even though I was thinking also about the incident that was unfolding. I moved on from that location to continue my duties, speaking to the family of the victim. And upon my return, I passed in front of the shop, because you have to understand this is a shop. This is in front of a street. This is a public
Yeah.
space, if you would. And the guy that struck me, he was leaning on a vehicle, talking to two police officers inside the vehicle.
Wow.
Wow.
So I approached the police officers and I told them, I said, this man just assaulted me, and I would want you all to intervene any way you can.
Yeah.
And the officer looked at me and said, Paul, I'm off duty. I just checked out.
Guys,
right?
no.
So I'm just stating a fact, right? I'm not trying to throw anybody
Wow.
out.
Oh, no.
So the officer said, I'm off duty right now.
And that's where that video that we saw was even more powerful now that you've given even more context, because that man is leaning over the police mobile.
No,
Very
it
casually,
was for a
just-
private vehicle.
Oh, a private vehicle.
But with two police officers
Okay.
in there.
Dressed in their uniforms.
Just in their uniform.
But they're off duty.
But so they told me that they just come off duty. They knew me by name and said just come off duty, so I need to head down to the police station.
You know that.
So I had to weigh whether I should follow up on this or if I should just come back to the office, complete my task, and move on.
Wow.
You know what? It's so hard to contain my disgust at that. And I know right now that I have to be very, very calm, but I am so sorry that happened to you. And when we're having this conversation about this right here, it's so, I don't know if it's coincidental that we're having all of these conversations about abuse of authority or abuse of officers, but just like the lack of care
Right.
also. Right? Because it comes down to not just abuse of authority or abuse of officers, but it also comes at the heels of who are managing, who are doing evaluations and monitoring of these officers
Yeah.
that are in these remote areas.
Yeah.
And that's why
Right.
we are still having
That's
this
a
conversation.
that's a huge point.
And I'm so glad that we've been able to join both of them together and see even more how these are connected. The question that we're asking you is abuse of power or abuse of officers. Who's crossing the line? We're seeing how, in different situations, we could see where police officers gets a level of abuse, but we can also see where police officers abuse their authority.
Or show no authority,
Or
apparently.
show no authority,
Yeah.
no sense of humanity as well. That is such a terrible situation that took place yesterday.
But
wow.
you know that line that says whenever we're having these casual conversations and perhaps something happens to a person in that conversation, they will turn around and say, well, why didn't you why didn't you report it? And the person would reply, the police not do nothing.
Yeah.
That right there is the line that
Yeah.
makes you lose respect. for
And that's
those-
what creates that cultural view of police officers in the
Indeed.
first
So,
place.
so it's to say that I had two encounters or interactions with the police in the aftermath. First, in the immediate aftermath,
On the phone.
on the phone, and then a little later, when these two police officers were in front of the store, basically, chisme. You know, they're interacting.
But the reaction of
like
the community was also very, you know,
it's one
complicit.
family. It's
Okay.
one family in that yard, and we go on these assignments.
We have a caller, Paul. I'm
go
sorry,
right
we'll come
ahead.
back. But good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning. I just want to comment on the situation on what happened to Paul.
Yeah.
I just think that policing in Digi in general is below the world standard. And when I say below the world standard, I mean if you come in and with most police officers, instantly they want to get a career. They don't try to, for instance, if I'm upset or if I'm in duress, something of that, I feel like the police officer says, okay, sir, explain to us what happened and we'll try to get out of it. Instead of them doing that, they'd be like, well, you need to calm down right now, sir, and, you know, their manners at what they're taught at the academy needs to change. If you want to get respect on the street, you have to give respect. You have to work with the community so they can build that trust in you that when they see this particular officer, he's not going to shortcut. If you report something, he will try to give an answer, and if he doesn't get an answer, he will try to go above his pay grade to get something done. I feel like that doesn't happen anywhere in the no accountability. For instance, that gentleman in Kika, like I said, the minute he jumped out of the golf cart and put his hands up, that situation should have been completed over in handcuffs, etc., etc.
That's true.
When someone raised their hand and said, okay, I surrender, just do what you need to do, don't abuse me or anything of that sort, I'm wrong. That gentleman gave up. The officer then, if you look at the videos, they pretend to talk to him and whatever the conversation was. I didn't hear all the conversation. But then it proceeded to get a little bit aggressive. Then one put him in a chokehold. If you look at the chokehold, the gentleman tapped on the officer's hand and said, like kind of giving an indication saying like, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
But it seemed like the officer released a little bit. But furthermore, all of that could have been avoided at the beginning if they just arrested that kid or put him in the handcuffs and moved on.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say for the guys.
All right, thank you so much,
for your
caller.
time, caller. You know, somebody raised this very important notion to me about the incident with you, Paul, and said that we kind of brushed it off as something very minor because you weren't hurt that badly. But in the grand scheme of things and in the eyes of the law, that's attempted murder.
You know,
I don't know how you are so calm, and kudos to you for being so calm because I am really upset on your behalf.
Clearly, I am not my boisterous, passionate self this
you're
morning,
still in shock.
right? Because I don't like to consider since yesterday the extreme,
Right.
how bad it could have been if that shopkeeper in his drunken stupor switched that machete from
Flat
the flat
to pointed.
to pointed or to the sharp end with that same swing and that same force. Listen, that lash, that like when you're at a picnic and you get trouble, and your ma or your pa come in and say you want to get a good one because the man use a lot of force, right? If he would have switched the angle of that machete to the sharp end, we would be having a completely different conversation.
You wouldn't be
morning.
here having a conversation.
I will probably be having one from my hospital bed and logging
and
through
that's
Zoom,
why I'm saying
but
that
still be having the conversation.
I feel like we're not highlighting how serious it was in the sense that there was nobody there to apprehend and there was nobody there to assist you when you asked for help. And to know that they were there and they just refused to help you. I think that is where the frustration of communities set in, because I heard the interview that you had with I think the family member and so forth, and they're like, this doesn't make sense in the other incident, if you will.
I think we could compare as well what took place in Keycocker just a few days before with Kevin DePaz and police officers intervening a fight, off-duty police officers that resulted in the stabbing of Kevin DePaz. This is literally how two situations could have unfolded, but they're so different.
Yes.
We have a caller. Let's get that conversation going. Good morning,
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, I would just like to give my opinion about the situation in Keycocker.
Sure.
I have found as an older man, a lot of the young boys, they got no kind of respect. I remember when I used to address man way older than myself, I take and call them sir, so then they call your dads, and they're very guided. Like sometimes they want them on a motorcycle, they overtake you. They know they do something wrong, and yet they want to give you the finger, or they take and try to justify what they do, like the okay.
Yeah.
I have had a few bad interactions with the police, but I have never blacklisted the police for doing their job.
Do you think it's a generational way of thinking, caller?
Huh?
Do you think it's a generational thing then?
I think so. Yeah. One of the problems was that you can't discipline your picnic, you can't lash your picnic. So now we got a generation of lone lawless picnic, and out of that same generation of lawless picnic, that went and take and pick the police force.
Ooh,
interesting.
That I did not expect the point to go there. Okay.
It's a shift.
I want to give one quick thing.
Go ahead.
I had one situation where my son disrespect me and I flag him. In my car, police knock up the door, and they, Mr. You're very abusive and so. And the very police officer with the I want to take and lick up your wife. You understand? So I mean, like, you talk about abuse, my brother, you need to watch your own self. But I take and I want to discipline my picnic, even if against the law and they want to pick you up, I want to discipline them. Because when police have to deal with them, they'll lick me up in the head with club.
So you feel that if you don't discipline your children, one, they could end up going in the same police force that's to protect and serve, and results in rogue police or cops that don't know how to really follow the rule of law. And then on the other end, if you don't discipline your kids, they end up with these same police officers, and then they end up getting abused still.
Definitely. That's why when my son, 14, 15, and disrespect me, he flag her. Police take and call you, they abuse. You want to arrest me. But I want discipline her. The Bible take and say for make your discipline your picnic. Never say for policeman do it. That's my job.
All right. Well, caller, thank you so much. That's such insightful opinions.
It kind of goes hand in hand with another comment that we had online that said the discipline does start from the home.
Yeah.
And if you don't teach your kids how to grow up and be respectful, they will grow up and be disrespectful adults. So
I
goes
think
line with what the caller is saying.
It's kind of sad, but I think we are in the day and age where really, you almost have to video or have some type of documentation of anything you possibly can. When you think of in other parts of the world, like the United States, where, you know, people, the minute they have an interaction with a police officer, they pull you over on the side of the road, they're pulling out their video phones. And in the same case, we're also seeing where police officers are incorporating that too. They have their body cameras.
Standard across the board in the U.S. You brought up a point earlier, though. I just want to bring back real quick about those off-duty police officers in Peacocker and their intervention in that fight that unfortunately led to the loss of life. Wasn't it that during that interview that we did with the Commissioner of Police, he said police officers are always on duty?
Right. Yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk about.
We do have a caller on the line, though. Good morning,
Let's
caller.
get back to that.
Good morning. All right.
We
seem to have lost
We'll
that
figure
call.
we'll figure that out,
But
and we'll
yes,
get
back
that
to your
caller in,
point,
because we do want to hear that
yes.
caller. Yeah, so I think it was the commissioner who said that these officers should always be on duty.
They're always on
and
duty. And that's what I wanted to compare the two situations that took place. Your experience with police officers where they were coincidentally and conveniently off duty when they were amongst the friend who assaulted you. And then, of course, the situation in Keecocker where these individuals who were police officers dressed in civilian clothing decided to step in and intervene. Also another assault that took place.
Yes.
But the public's reaction to both of them were also a little bit different too, if you think of it. Because the public's reaction to the police officers were, what was it? It was met with mixed reviews, criticisms to the police officers. You know, and then in your case, I mean, I imagine it's also, well, we're just getting the last part of what you just shared there, but I think that we need to recognize that in this case, it seems to be an individual thing and not an actual, like, okay,
policy
across the board.
Policy across the board.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have my cameraman telling me interact with you guys, and I really want to get your thoughts on that, because are we seeing then that in the case of what took place in Keecocker and Shaibe, a moral, I think, divide where individuals are coming in and they know that they have this duty to serve, but in certain situations, I mean, Belize is small too. If my friend April go and do something stupid and I know that I'm in a position where I have to show my authority,
then
I just kind of, if I don't look on it long enough, it never happen.
And that happens way too often.
If I don't look on it long enough, I never see it.
And I saw, and to be fair, I saw where the officer yesterday was conflicted.
Yeah,
right?
because that's his friend.
It's a female officer.
Oh,
but so I just
that's her friend.
That's her friend.
But at least the one in the driver's seat, and I saw where she was conflicted. She even scratched her head before. Like, all right, Paul, I have duty. You have to go to the police station. So I saw that conflict.
Yeah.
Well, we just want to keep encouraging our viewers to please call us in and share your thoughts. That's 2800016.
We just have about a few.
We have like one more call left. So if you want to share your thoughts, please call the number that you see on the screen.
I want to balance the conversation, though, too. It would be remiss of me not to mention, because we're digging for police officers, and we're doing so in a balanced way, but there are upstanding police officers out there that I personally know.
All right, we have a call, Paul. Just hold on to that thought.
Good.
Good morning, caller.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, caller,
yes, we
you're
can hear you,
online.
caller.
Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, go ahead. Please don't listen to your TV or your device.
Just mute your TV.
Just mute it and speak with us over the phone. Just speak with us.
I would like. Good morning.
Yes, go
I would
ahead.
like to say shame on the police officers, and Rosado have a lot of work to do.
They do.
Yeah, you want to add anything else? All right. Well, some people have a lot of
Straight to
words.
the
some
point.
people
Yes.
get
Straight to the point. But back to your point.
Yeah,
Paul.
no. I just think it's important to highlight that there are some good cops out there.
There are.
Individuals that have dedicated a lot of years in their lives, and it's interesting that when I think about good police officers, at least the outstanding ones that I know personally, a lot of them are up there in the age a bit.
Yeah.
They're from a different
different
generation
time.
or a time, if you would. And I'm not saying the younger police officers aren't outstanding, because we do have a lot of that as well. So I could think about a few, but the most I think about are up there
Senior.
in age. So a few names I think about. My second mom, even though we haven't interacted for a good while, Miss Arita Gordon, and I want to mention her name down south. She has been doing exceptionally well in community policing, in building relationship with her community. I think about my uncle. You know, my uncle is a police officer. I have he's a sergeant, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he's risen in rank. Mr. Alvin Neal out west. I think he's in Belmopan now. Another exceptional and outstanding police officer.
We had Frederick Gordon on set with us. He's a younger officer.
And it's important we call their names, right? To
No,
show
I
that,
don't think that-
there's an example being set out
All right,
there
we have a
as well.
call. Let's get that caller in.
Good morning.
Morning, caller.
Hello.
Yes, go
Good
ahead.
morning.
Good morning.
Okay, share your thoughts.
That's my 2 cents on this incident with Park.
Yeah.
Since the police were out there and they didn't do anything, you know the reason why? Because that same shopkeeper, they go there and get whatever they want. So then they don't want to arrest her or do anything to the man there, because next time they don't want to get nothing else from him. So that's a feeling friend.
Conflict
And
of
I
interest.
see that always happen. They go to the store and they pull whatever they want and they walk out.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they didn't do anything. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Are you? Well, all right. Yeah. All right, caller. Thank you. Thank you so much for your thoughts.
caller.
I think kind of very
It is a
similar to the
conflict
point
of
that I was
interest,
saying.
yes.
You know, oftentimes these community police officers even.
It's common.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, you are stationed in a village because some of them actually are not even from that
that
community.
A lot
too.
of
A
them.
lot of them
Yeah,
are
And
not.
the
They
police
move them
officer
around.
yesterday that I interacted with is not from that
Yeah.
community.
So if you're stationed in a community, very, very tight-knit community, you have people of influence. Even if you don't have money, you could still have influence. And we're not saying that that was the case, what the caller said, but I do go back to my point where I said oftentimes, you know, you want to shut your eye for people where you know.
Just to wrap
And
up this
that's not what
conversation
we
really
think
quickly, I think
should
some
happen.
solutions, you know, in terms of monitoring, evaluating these community officers that are in these really high remote areas where, and you alluded to it earlier, Paul, where you said there is a level of alcoholism, there is a level of domestic violence that happens in these communities where they go unchecked because they're so far removed from urban civilization, right? We often see these incidents that being caught on camera by some bad cops and some bad civilians as well. But we do also want to acknowledge that there are some very good cops out there. And we do want to create a particular space where there's trust between the police and the community that they serve. So solution, how do we reach that?
Well, I wonder based on the comments that Sabrina brought up moments ago, if there is a conflict that these police officers in this tight-knit community are faced with, and how to address that conflict, that internal conflict. Because at the end of the day, like you said, and I'm wrapping up here, you're not from this community, but you have to work with these people and get along with these people, and
They need to trust you.
they need to trust you. So how do you exercise a balance of you can trust me, but
You still have to
you
respect
will
me.
respect the job that I have to do, and if you are caught in the crosshairs of a situation I cannot turn a blind eye to it.
Yeah.
I have to address it. And I think that line, in my view, has not been made clear in a lot of these instances. And I think that it's created a conflict within these police officers, because part of the truth is when they're put out there, to an extent, they're left to the mercy of the world and the community that they work in. And they have to navigate that. And I'm not making any excuse for this officer, but it brings up the reality that they have to navigate.
There's a lot of issues that come with these situations. But thank you so much for all of your comments, your calls. This has been a very insightful and educational conversation. But we do have to take a quick break. And when we come back, there's more. Open your eyes. Don't go away.
And I'm a teacher, and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer, with these online that Belize Bank offer, is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
Finally here, KTV The Remix Season 7 goes live. Come meet the new cast of challengers ready to shake up the stage and remix the culture. From raw local power to lyrical fire, from classical hits to bold new sounds. This is where Belize's next star is born. The place to be? The Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Get your tickets today for only $5 at Greater Belize Media on Coney Drive and 88 Shopping Center. KTV The Remix Season 7, Tuesday, July 8th at 8 p.m. See you there.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Hi there. Are you on your phone right now, scrolling on social media, listening to the radio, or watching TV? Have you ever stopped to think, what's powering my device right now? You see, electricity is essential for everyday life, powering our homes, businesses, transportation, and of course, that one binge-worthy series that you just can't stop watching. But how does it all work? This season on the What's and Why's of Energy, we're taking you behind the scenes, bringing you the latest updates and answers to your biggest energy questions. My name is Emmanuel Petch, and I invite you to join us as we go live on Facebook and get ready to see energy in a whole new light. Like, share, and follow us to be part of the conversation.
Belize Electricity Limited, providing you safe and reliable power when you need it.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Caraza, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
My name is Leomar Langzert, and I'm a teacher, and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer with these online that Belize Bank offered is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy 8. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Coming up, get ready because it's crop over time. A friendship contribution to children with cancer, making a difference for those with special needs. African culture expressed through fashion, and another reward for a job well done. It's all next on this station.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are here in the Grace Kitchen getting ready to cook up some corned beef spaghetti this morning. And of course, we can't do that without Miss V in the building. And then we have Marvin Fibrata talk about some other deals and steals that you can get over at Grace. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, as always.
I feel like I don't see you in a long
I
time.
know, right?
It's like 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks.
2 long weeks.
Too long indeed.
Yes, yes, because I was like, when was the last time? And you reminded me, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I did the last time.
The last time we had corned beef dip.
I'm nice, I'm rich.
Yeah, so again, good morning, guys, and thanks for always having me here, ladies. You know, it's always a pleasure on Friday to be here.
It is a pleasure to have you, Miss.
Yes, so yeah.
Make we start.
Let's begin.
Let's do this.
Or
At
quick.
the beginning.
At the beginning.
Yes.
Indeed.
Alrighty, so good morning.
We're doing this one.
No, this one was actually sent to me.
What? Another one.
Yes, yes.
I love that.
And I was like, how we gonna do this? How I like, all right.
Just like that.
We'll figure it out.
All right, so maybe turn on this tool.
Yes, go ahead. Click it. Yep.
Yeah.
So this morning we are making corned beef spaghetti.
Yes.
And of course, we can't do that without our trusty corned beef. And I have
No.
to tell you, Miss V, when I saw it as the meal that we would be making today, I thought it was a good idea. I could see myself coming up with that.
I felt like I've done it before.
And
you know, replacing the
and
beef.
it's easy and quick, and summer the kids at home, put them in the kitchen. Our pasta is already cooked, so it's just the corned beef that we're gonna put together, and we're gonna build from there, and we're gonna add the pasta, and hopefully that it come out well. Person that sent me, please let me know if I'm doing it the right way, and we'll let you know the taste of
Did the
it.
person say if they made it on their own yet?
No,
they just give you the idea.
Yeah. Miss V, this is an idea. Okay.
Oh, so you're adding oil.
Yeah, because then we have some peppers.
Okay.
Yeah, to give our corned beef body. I always like
and color.
Yes, I always like to give the corned beef body. Even if we're doing it with white rice, you can add a little potato in it. You know, one of my uncle's favorite. You know, he like to add potato to make it more. You know, if you just have
Volume.
one can, come on, you have feed a whole lot of people.
We're very strict in the order in certain things that go into your pan. So like, what would you put first?
Yeah, we'll do the onion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do the onion. We'll saute the onion, and as we go along, we're gonna add the pepper.
Okay.
So
I
you
really
can go
love
ahead,
that our
just
viewers
slow it a
have
little
been
bit.
giving you ideas.
Yes,
to come
I
on
like
the
it
show.
too because
It's
then it challenged my mind, and even if I don't have time to really test it out, I'm trusting that it will come out good.
But
Because
I
what
also-
wrong can you go with?
Do you want me to drop this
Yeah,
in now?
sure. Go ahead. Go
But
ahead.
I also
Just be
love
careful.
the idea
Put it away
of
from so we don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
of an audience sending you these ideas. Because sometimes you really don't know what to cook. You know, like sometimes you get stumped.
Yes,
and you don't know what you want to make.
I do, and I don't want to do the same thing over. Like, but Miss V cooked that already. So
Well, I don't know about you, Miss V, but I would not be upset with you bringing back some stuff you've already done before.
No, when I'm thinking, you know, what should I do? And something will ding, 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 but you did that already.
But you should bring it back. Whatever.
You
was
know
on
what
the
I
beginning,
really
bring
have
back.
enjoyed from you so far?
Yes.
I mean, in the countless years that we've been doing this.
Okay.
Your tuna panades.
I was thinking
The
that.
tuna
I was thinking,
panades
you know
that
what?
definitely.
I wouldn't be upset if Miss V bring back the tuna
I
panades.
really
Alright.
like the corned beef that was salbutes or garnaches.
I think it was tacos.
It was tacos.
That's
It was salbutes.
Man.
See?
It's a lot I did.
With you.
Let's add it.
has done
Yes,
like local
I try to
meals.
make sure. I try to make sure that I keep a track on what I'm.
I mean, I
on
remember
what
when I
do.
had.
Yeah. So we can add the 2 peppers.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
I remember when
we're gonna add tomato too, but we don't want it to really mush away. Yeah, that's the word for it. But we're just gonna have these saute for a bit. If you don't want it, you don't have to add it. But like I said, it's just to give our pasta and our corned beef volume. Yeah.
And texture too.
Yes, exactly.
I remember when I had your shepherd's pie.
Oh.
I never even had shepherd's pie before
God.
that. I mean, Miss V,
Yeah.
she was getting me cultured, guys. Like, what?
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. All right.
And we're gonna add the tomato and as well. Just go ahead. We're gonna stir that round. Stir that.
Oh, that looks so good. I could eat that just like that.
I know, just the niceness. And if you like, you can add garlic. If you like whatever vegetables you want to add here, guys.
I'm surprised you never bring garlic.
Yeah, that one, I forgot that one. Yeah, but we're gonna make it work. Everything's gonna work. So as we have this sauteing, we already have our amazing corned beef open. There's two. They have the this regular one and we have the low sodium one.
Yes.
If you want a smaller amount, there's a smaller can as well. You don't have to always do with the rice. But a little side note that I remember my grandmother used to do, she will hash this up, get us some corn tortilla, and we'll be rolling our tacos away.
So good.
You know, that was a quick meal, and it's summer too, so it will be easy and fast.
Okay.
So as that is sauteing, we're gonna go ahead and add our corned beef and cook it up here.
When did you have corned beef for the first time? Was it as a kid as well, Ms.
Yes, as a kid. And a lot of people, I come across a lot of people that say that they haven't had it and it's not something that they will like.
So I have a friend. I am that person.
Yes, I have
wait, what person are you, April?
I am the person that had corned beef as an adult.
Oh.
Like I wasn't, it wasn't that part of my kid diet.
What made you decide to try it? Because everybody
it was around. It was around, you know, school cafeteria, stuff like that. But like it was never like my go-to.
Yeah.
And then of course you have it with your rice and your cilantro and your, and your onion.
Yeah.
You know, though, since you're talking about go-to, I don't think I remember it being a go-to meal. I think as you know, cheap as it was back then, it almost felt like a treat. You know, how about you, Marvin?
Right.
Was that the same experience you had?
Yes.
I guess everybody have a different story when it comes to candy.
So I have a little bit of paprika here to give us a little bit of color. Yeah.
Yum.
And we have our Grace tomato ketchup that we're gonna add. I have a little bit of basil.
Well, speaking of Grace tomato ketchup, we do also have that on display here. Is this a part of some of the promotions that are taking place?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, of course, not to cut you short, of course, we do continue with our in-store promotion, no? Whereby you purchase a box of coconut milk powder, you get 3 of the sachet free. You purchase 4 of our Vienna, whether the chicken or whether the hot and the spicy, you get 2 free. You purchase 2 of our ketchups, whether the hot, whether the regular, you also get another 1 free.
Perfect.
You also purchase 3 turbo, you also get another turbo free.
And the turbo again is an energy drink.
Right.
Have you tried the turbo?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Did it give you energy?
Yes, it did. We also have to add. We also have. It also comes in a can now as well, no?
Okay.
So you could purchase it in a can as well, no? We also have our potted meat, whereby you purchase 3 potted meat. You also get another potted meat free.
Miss V, you need to make some patties with this potted meat.
And then
okay. And then we have candles.
Yeah, and new to our catalog, we also have our scented candles, no?
How's this been going? Have people been?
It's been better.
Oh, this smells so
pretty
good.
receptive, no? Right, that's a berry burst. We also have 4 different
other flavors,
no other scents.
All right, and so all of these items here on display do have deals on them. If you get a certain amount, you get an extra 1 free, or you get multiple free.
Right.
And so these are available countrywide.
Countrywide,
yes?
correct. Countrywide.
All right, fantastic. Miss V, how we doing?
So I went ahead and I add some Grace tomato ketchup. There's different kinds as well, and I add some of this Scotch bonnet pepper for a little bit of heat and balance. Yeah, if you don't want to add it, don't add it. The same thing with the tomato ketchup if you don't want, but then it's Grace product and it's amazing together with the canned beef. And listen, this right here,
they look like meat sauce.
We can,
They look like meat sauce.
we can finish right here.
All right, okay.
We can finish right here this way. We can finish right here, so our viewers can see. This is a quick.
Very quick
meal.
So do you put this on top or do you mix the pasta?
And my second thing is for today, is however you want it.
Yeah. Okay.
You can incorporate it if you want. You can put your pasta, then add the meat. But
what did the viewers say to do?
They never say.
They never say.
They never say. They never say. So whatever way we can add the pasta here.
Okay.
Or we can put our pasta on the plate and put the meat on top. So what you guys think we should do?
What do you think we should do, April?
We can add the meat.
We could add the meat on top.
All right.
All right. Then, no problem. Let's turn it off.
All right.
And let's cool this to the side.
It's really good,
we have our pasta that is already or spaghetti that is already cooked. bile to the package instruction.
plate?
Yeah, so we have a plate here.
And of course, she put a hefty garlic bread on,
And
because
then
you can't
again,
have it without.
And
Naturally.
then it's up to you if you want the garlic bread, but then hey, it's pasta.
say no to
Yeah,
garlic
so
bread.
yeah, let's go ahead and put whatever
I am
amount
a
you like.
big pasta eater,
Yeah.
so I would
Mhm.
always put a lot of pasta. But seeing
Yeah.
that the plate is not
Yeah.
hefty, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do this.
Control your amount of
Control
feeding.
my amount of eating.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right.
That's right.
Okay. So,
Yep. It's good. Yep. All right. So let's put this here. Then you're gonna add the sauce.
Okay.
Let's put this a little bit closer to you.
Ready. So let's put our plate here.
It smells so good
It
too.
does smell good.
Yeah.
And then I want to get all of the like nice little
Veggies in there.
Oh yeah.
in there. Do we have cheese?
Oh yes, I have some.
We
Parmesan.
certainly do.
Have to put the cheese.
I have some Parmesan cheese right
Because
here.
if we don't have cheese, then it's not really pasta.
Yeah.
In
All
my-
right.
That looks so
So
good.
again, it's up to how you want to add it. You can incorporate it right here. Yeah.
Alrighty. And then
I go to your house for lunch.
She might go to.
I want to give you the full combo.
Yeah. And we have some
Indeed.
Parmesan cheese there that you would like to sprinkle.
Paul's
there.
smiling like April's preparing that for him.
You know, Paul. I would feel that way too. I would. Same.
You want me to
Alright.
help you with the cheese?
You know, I'm trying to be dainty about it,
But
but
then-
it's not really working out
She's
for
trying
me.
to not use her fingers,
Yes.
guys. That's what she didn't want to say.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
All
Okay.
right.
And
That was
voila.
Yep.
Quick, April, you gotta ding them in and let them know that the food's ready.
Ding ding. Oh, wait.
Lunch is served.
Lunch is served.
All right,
Oh
Miss D,
gosh.
well,
Quick
this has
and
been-
easy, guys. Quick and easy.
This has been super fun. Marvin, let's
Yes.
go over this one more time to just remind our viewers what the deals are and, of course, where they can get them.
Right, so the deals are available at any one of your major supermarket. You just stop by, purchase a box of coconut milk powder, you get 3 sachets free. You purchase 2 ketchups, you get another 1 free. You purchase 4 of our Viennas, you get 2 free. Purchase 3 patty meat, you get another 1 free. And also, if you also purchase 3 turbo, you also get another turbo free. And also to note to our consumers, our office will be closed today due to our quarterly stock take. So I resume business on Monday.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Marvin. Thank you so much, Miss V. The meal looks great, but we do got to take things
Yes.
over to Paul now to get that official weather update.
All right.
Indeed. The food looks excellent. All right, excellent job, Chef V, Marvin, Sabrina, and April. The food looks gourmet. I wish I could have a bite right now, but let's get into the weather, right? So today's forecast is sunny with a few cloudy spells today and partly cloudless skies tonight. Showers or thunderstorms will be isolated. So in essence, it's sunny with a chance of meatballs or corned beef balls or rain, right? Today's temperatures, along the coast is 88 degrees Fahrenheit and 80 degrees Fahrenheit on the lower end. Inland, 93 degrees Fahrenheit and 74 degrees on the lower end. In the hills, the temperature drops a bit to 80 degrees Fahrenheit and all the way down to 67 on the lower end, but we know in the hills things are usually cooler. Let's look at this weekend in case you have any plans for the weekend. Well, what we're looking at here is inland, it's 87 degrees, and up in the mountains, 93 degrees. It gets hotter. Again, that's on Saturday, and then on Sunday, 86 degrees inland and 92 up in the hills. On Monday, still some more sunshine, 85 degrees and 91 in the hills, and we continue with these temperatures going into Tuesday. As you can see there, 87 and 92. Let's move on. This is the astronomical forecast. So what can we expect? Well, we saw the sun rise this morning at 5:22 a.m. and then it's gonna set For those who are chasing sunsets, you can be out at 6:31 p.m. and you're gonna catch that one. Moon rises at 1:27 p.m. That's this afternoon. And if you're more into the moon setting than the sun setting, then you can catch that at 1:01 a.m. if you're up tomorrow morning, that is. And then our marine condition, the sea state is gonna be slight, so I think it's a good day to be out in the sea, not too choppy today. The winds will blow in an eastern pattern, 5 to 10 knots. And then look at the tides. Today's low tide begins at 12:15 p.m. That's right after lunch. Today's high at 6:05 p.m. Today's then another low at 11:10 p.m. later on tonight, and then tomorrow a high tide at 5:17 a.m. Just so you're aware. And that does it for our Eye on the Weather. Sabrina and April.
All right. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you so much, Paul. And of course, we do got to take a quick break. And when we come back, the conversation switches to Digi.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Carazal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
It's finally here. KTV The Remix Season 7 goes live. Come meet the new cast of challengers ready to shake up the stage and remix the culture. From raw local power to lyrical fire, from classical hits to bold new sounds. This is where Belize's next star is born. The place to be? The Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Get your tickets today for only $5 at Greater Belize Media on Coney Drive and 88 Shopping Center. KTV The Remix Season 7, Tuesday, July 8th at 8 p.m. See you there.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer Grey air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Caraza, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are jumping into our second conversation, and it's all about staying safe with DigiBusiness cybersecurity. This morning, we are joined by Moshe Smith. He's the General Manager of Business to Business. Also with us is Julio Marin. He's the Technical Pre-Sales Manager, also representing Business to Business. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
It's not very often we have two fresh faces here from Digi talking about just some added features and services that are available. I want to get straight into it. Business to business and the inspiration of Digi launching cybersecurity services for businesses in the first place. Let's get you, Moshe.
Sure. So we've seen a huge increase worldwide and actually in Belize in cybersecurity threats. And we're seeing a lot of Belizean businesses falling victim to cybersecurity threats, whether it be ransomware, phishing, banking fraud. And we've been developing products and solutions to protect local Belizean businesses for some time, and now we're ready to bring that to the Belizean market. What we've seen over the past couple of months is in Belize alone, we've seen a little over 8 cybersecurity incidents, and they range from different type of attacks. We've seen ransomware where they've locked out organizations' complete infrastructure, stolen their data, and said to them, pay me $200,000 or we won't release your data back to you, and we will also release it to the dark web.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for us, it's not a common conversation in the business space in Belize or in Belize at all.
Yeah.
And we know that it's important for us to protect our digital infrastructure as the country continues to digitally transform.
Yeah.
And it's also important for general basic citizens or regular citizens to protect their end devices as well, because it's not just businesses they're coming after all of us.
I love that you really started the conversation there, because it's true. I think the position that we are in as a country when we think of data protection and even using some unprotected sites, let's be honest, guys, we go and we torrent, we watch the sites where say, careful, it might not be protected. We skip that and we move along. And so these are the very steps that I think kind of leads us to points, even in businesses where data gets retrieved and of course stolen and used for other means. Let's take the conversation to some of the examples that persons on the other side of the screen can understand, ways that they can put their personal information or their work information at risk.
So the number one recommendation is always having a secure password.
Okay.
So
what does that mean? 1, 2, 3, 4 exclamation mark?
No, it specifically doesn't mean that. Yes, there's a lot of people that are very comfortable with using the same password for multiple different accounts, as well as using a very simplified password. That is one of the easiest ways to get hacked.
But Julio, I can't remember it, Julio. So what do you do then?
So first of all, use passphrase. Multiple different familiar words that to you that's not familiar to other people, and then merge that together and make a familiar password. It takes a little getting used to, but you will get the hang of it. The next side to it is use a password manager.
Okay.
There's multiple different password manager from multiple different security providers that offer a free tier as well. You can save your passwords on there and then hide that behind a multi-factor authentication. You might ask what a multi-factor authentication is now. That is a second way or a third way of verifying who you say you are. So that's in the form of a second, after you entering in your password, a text message is coming in, and then you can enter that code into into your website or into your login page, etc.
What are some of the biggest threats potentially affecting businesses today when it comes to cybersecurity?
So I think the biggest threat is phishing attacks. So a lot of businesses are receiving emails, and unfortunately their staff are not trained enough to identify fraudulent emails with links in there. The reality is once you click on one of these links, the cyber actors or the bad actors actually then gain access into your network. And once they're able to gain access into your network, they go through reconnaissance. We've seen customers that they've sat in networks for an extended period of time doing reconnaissance, building their attack, and then compromising that entire infrastructure. So what it looks like once you receive and your staff receives an email saying, oh, it's HR, it's a new payroll system, click to check your pay slip, because this is actually something that happens regularly. They click on the link, nothing happens, they go to a site, but in the background, tools are installed on your computer that gives them access. Once that's done, what they do is they go through a process of ransomwaring your infrastructure, and that means that they actually encrypt all of the data on your network, on all your computers, on all your servers. And the way it manifests itself is one day you'll walk into the office and you will see a message on your screen saying, we've encrypted all your data, you can't use any of your computers, pay us a certain amount of money, or...
And this is also after they've exfiltrated the data, so they have a copy of it already. Yeah, so pay us, or we will, one, release your data to the dark web, and two, you won't get access to your data ever again.
You know, I think a lot of people have heard about those things taking place, but kind of don't believe that it's real too. Have we seen any cases here in Belize that was successful?
Yes, we've seen multiple cases in Belize where it has been successful. We're not able to talk about what we've seen, but we can tell you that it is, and it's increasing in Belize. Now, what we've said to all of our customers that we've helped or supported in this is your first instinct is to try and pay. Don't pay. And the reason why we say don't pay is if you pay, they do what we call double ransom. And so what they'll do is you will pay, they will release your data, you'll get back your data with backdoors in it for them to come back and do the same thing. But they will also then sell your data on the dark web to data brokers who will then reach out to you and say, now I have your information, pay me a ransom or I'm going to release it to the dark web. And so you end up in a cycle of paying over and over and over for the same attack. So if you're ever compromised, we suggest you reach out to solution providers like us that can help get you out of that situation and then create a security posture for your environment where you're protected over time, where we can prevent that type of attack.
What are the services that DigiBusiness provides to protect, to be proactive, to protect from that? And do you guys also provide services when you're already in that bind?
Correct. So what Moshe just described would, the response to already being in an incident like that would be our incident response package.
Okay.
So that's when you've already recognized you're encrypted or you're currently under attack, you reach out to us and then we get a team of cybersecurity experts and we come in, we install tools and we try to understand what's going on and we try to stop it. And then after that, then we start to investigate and try to give you the information that you need to figure out who your attacker is.
But you also provide service before?
Before that, we also do vulnerability assessment to understand what's your security posture, and then we take actions on that based on what your security posture is. So we can perform multiple different types of cybersecurity techniques, zero trust, patching, etc. So there's multiple different ways of improving your security posture, and for multiple different businesses, there's different priorities for them. So we have a list of them. Customers can look at them, understand them, and then choose which one best fits for them.
Our flagship product in this is, and just to go back to incident response, it's the last thing we want to do,
right?
Because it's the most uncomfortable thing to do for any business, and even for us. It's a high pressure situation. People are literally losing their minds when this is occurring within those businesses. So to prevent, our primary product, and we have a large list, but our primary product is managed security services. And so it's a bunch of tools that we deploy in your infrastructure to protect your infrastructure. But importantly, it's not just installing tools. What we do is we monitor and manage these tools remotely 24/7. And so when something happens in your environment at 2 in the morning, which is normally the time when this occurs, we are up looking at it and we react, we remediate, we address it, and then we notify you after that. This occurred, we've stopped it. We won't stop cybersecurity attacks from happening, but we will prevent it from expanding into your network and affecting your business.
Would you say that cybersecurity protection depends on the type of business that you have? Someone with a small business might say, I don't really operate that much online, so I don't think I need it.
Well, so I would say to a small business owner, can you afford to lose all of your information today? And would you be able to recover and your business continue running if you've lost everything? The way we've designed our packages is that it is a low monthly cost per device within your network.
Okay.
And so it's not that you have to spend an exorbitant amount of funds in order to protect your infrastructure. And we also deploy it from a layered approach. So we start out with our managed security services, and then we layer other services on top of it over time to protect you, to make it manageable to make it financially manageable for our customers.
I want to go through the packages really quickly, just for persons who might be interested. Do they differ with business sizes? You said that it's based on devices as well, so let's talk about that.
Sure. So it varies by business size.
Okay.
So dependent on the number of endpoints that you have, then there is a small monthly charge per device. And then there are other services, we call it SIEM, but what it is really is we look at all the logs in your network. So every device you have generate logs, even your mobile phone. We look at those to see what's happening in the back end of those devices to see if there's any threats. And so we might start, for example, with our managed security services, which is our entry into the market. And then after that, we would move to SIEM, we'd move to email protection, we move to a couple other services going up the chain. One of the ones that we always recommend to business customers to take is we offer a managed training solution for your staff. And the reason for that is that a lot of these compromises happen by phishing attacks towards individuals. And if your staff is educated and able to detect these type of attacks, then you are also able to prevent a lot of them from starting.
All right. Well, I think I go back to when we think of cyber attacks and just some of these emails that you get. If it seems too good to be true, don't click the link, man.
Exactly.
They didn't just decide to send you a cruise ticket, or you didn't just win something to go to Disneyland. Ask questions, and in the case of workplaces, if you're able to speak to your HR, pick up the phone and call instead of just clicking a random link. Any final points before we wrap up from here? Do you have a price breakdown that persons could maybe know ahead of time?
So each different businesses will have different priorities. Like I mentioned, the best approach is to let us know where do you currently stand, what are your priorities, and then let us build that package for you, and let us make it affordable as well. And for any business that do want to reach out to us, majority of them would have already assigned a sales solutions representative. But if you don't, then feel free to visit us at our website, www.livedigi.com. And then there's a contact us, and then we'll get a sales rep assigned over to you.
Perfect.
Or walk into our stores.
Alrighty. And you guys are located countrywide?
Countrywide. Any of our offices, countrywide.
Perfect. Thank you so much, gentlemen. And we wish you guys all the best.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty, we take a quick break now, but don't go anywhere, because have you guys tried charades or Belizean charades? We're going to test our knowledge on some music. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Aiwa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Aiwa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Aiwa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Aiwa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Aiwa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
My name is Carlton Flowers and I'm the owner of Back to My Roots Art from the Heart, and in this store I produce a lot of handmade ornaments. Before I had access, it was a big problem because the tourist doesn't carry as much cash. We needed to have the machine to make the business a success. Dealing with the machine, I don't have to take time out from the store to go and or send people to go to the bank. I would recommend Belize Bank digital service because it has done a lot for me personally. It has done a lot for my business. It helps me with paying my bills online, and I really appreciate that the staff took time out and teach me what I needed to get done. So I'm very happy that now I can do it confidently on my own.
Finally here, KTV The Remix Season 7 goes live. Come meet the new cast of challengers ready to shake up the stage and remix the culture. From raw local power to lyrical fire, from classical hits to bold new sounds, this is where Belize's next star is born. The place to be? The Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Get your tickets today for only $5 at Greater Belize Media on Coney Drive and 88 Shopping Center. KTV The Remix Season 7, Tuesday, July 8th at 8 p.m. See you there.
My name is Leomar Langzert and I'm a teacher and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer with these online that Belize Bank offered is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
It's finally here. KTV The Remix Season 7 goes live. Come meet the new cast of challengers ready to shake up the stage and remix the culture. From raw local power to lyrical fire, from classical hits to bold new sounds, this is where Belize's next star is born. The place to be? The Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Get your tickets today for only $5 at Greater Belize Media on Coney Drive and 88 Shopping Center. KTV The Remix Season 7, Tuesday, July 8th at 8 p.m. See you there.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Caraza, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are moving things along, and we just made a quick switch to another super fun and engaging conversation that we are about to have. As of course, we did highlight it this morning that we would be trying our knowledge at Speaking Gen Alpha. Now, there are so many different generations, right? You come from millennials.
Millennials,
I come
yes.
from millennial Gen Z.
Yeah, because you're like in that sweet
I'm
spot,
definitely in the
right?
middle.
Like,
I grew up with
yeah.
millennials and boomers, and I do know how to switch it up a little bit. I just learned some lingos from our producer, and I
From
try to
Gen Zs.
incorporate it. But Gen Alpha, that's where we are right now.
Okay, what is that generation?
The youngest one, that's all I know. I don't know anything else.
Okay.
But there's a certain type of like verbiage that they use, every generation, right? And so we know, we kind of tested our knowledge with millennials and Gen Zs, and now we're at Gen Alpha. I'll tell you this, I have no idea some of the things that I hear sometimes. I don't know what they mean.
I remember you and Paul did the Gen Z one, and
which I thought was more millennial, actually.
Yeah, I sat on my couch and I was listening to you guys, and I said to myself, man, I taught some of these kids and I really didn't know what they were saying to me.
Yeah, we'll try Gen Alpha.
Well,
so we're moving along into that now. We will be having some phrases on the screen, and we are going to try to determine what they mean. I mean, let's see how much we know. Starting up with looks maxing.
Like it look good? Like it
my gosh.
Like it looks more than good. Like it looks extreme.
Okay, we have our cameraman here, Alvin, saying it's looking extreme.
It's extreme.
I'm gonna go with that too. I think that could potentially.
Is that?
Okay, so we have our producer saying that this means you're trying very hard to look better.
You're to try too much. You're to do too much.
I would not.
I would have never guessed.
You're glowing
up.
So this is another example of why we need her here.
Yeah,
on set to explain this.
So it does mean that you're doing the extreme, like you're stepping up.
Okay,
I guess. I don't know.
Okay,
next.
All right. Never heard that one before.
Me
by the
either.
way. Up next we have NPC.
What? No context, guys. No context.
Well,
what is happening?
You don't need context when it comes to link. Non-playable character.
So
we're
like
using
irrelevant?
abbreviations.
So you're irrelevant. Non-playable character.
I've never heard or seen that before. Okay, so they're saying that on video games they have people that just stand on the side.
So like standbyers, irrelevant peer people.
So would this be used in?
So they're not important.
Oh my god.
So they're irrelevant. So they're not irrelevant people. Okay, got it. NPCs. Don't know if I'll ever use that in my life. Go ahead.
Straight gas. All right.
Straight.
What does that mean?
I don't know what it means. I straight gas, straight like you walk, I don't know.
Okay, it's walk.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
straight gas. Straight gas. Okay, I would. Okay, so apparently this means it's good. The food from Grace was straight gas. No.
No.
So our producer is saying that's what we're saying about the food. No, I've never heard of that before either.
Would utilize
straight gas.
That to me that sounds like it's going to give me gas. It does not. Okay.
Okay, moving along. Moving things along. Glazing. Oh my gosh. Nothing shows your age than
this. Yes, I know.
What would we use glazing for?
Glazing.
It looks good.
Like you're the glazed baby girl.
Okay.
You're glazing. Is that?
Yeah, that's what it means apparently. So that's when you're like trying to give someone.
Okay, you're giving.
Okay, so it's not complimenting.
Like you're the hype.
It's when you want to be a hype man.
Like you're a hype man, like you're the glaze. I don't know, glaze out. No, I don't know. Yeah? Okay. You're the glaze out.
All right, let's move things along.
We're terrible at this, Sabrina.
Still water.
All I think about is Tyler's Water song. That's all I think about.
Still water. Still water. What would I use still water for?
Still water.
Is it like still water as in
like
it's still water, or is it like mellow still water?
Like, is it just, to me it sounds almost like not moving. It's just neutral.
Oh, it looks like it get you sick.
Still water.
So it's like not moving still water. So if we use it, so it's in the context. It's in the context of water that's not moving. So still water.
So that you can't
still water,
drink it.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you use that in a situation where it's like it doesn't look appealing?
Yes.
Or it's not good for you?
So in the sense that you're not going to drink it because it'll do you bad.
Okay.
Or you're not going to have that because it'll do you bad.
I don't know why my producer is saying in my ears like 3-day coffee, because I don't know about you. I've had 3-day coffee and it did me fine.
So first
that
of all,
is not still water in my eyes,
I love
girl.
you so much, but I judge you so hard.
I do not care.
But no, I get it, because still water is bad for you. You wouldn't drink something.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
next.
got it. That's one that we kind of understood.
Yeah.
What? Phantom tax? Phantom tax.
Guys, I look young. I look your age, but I'm not your age. What is this?
Phantom tax.
Phantom tax?
No.
I don't.
What is it?
Please tell me what this is. I don't even try guess.
Okay, producer.
Like you're stealing.
So this means you're stealing. Can we just say stealing?
Can you just like you? What about this tells me you're stealing? Please, I need some explanation. What is this?
All right, let's move things along. All right, so I don't
understand.
So they're saying that this means you wouldn't steal from them. Can we move along? No.
No, I don't get it.
All right, let's go.
That's it?
All right, well.
Oh.
Mewing.
Mewing? Guys, on a reality, all of them back up things now.
Yeah,
at this point. Mewing. Like,
okay. So let me tell you, right?
Okay, what?
So they just said that this means when you place your tongue, the upper part of your jaw, to give you a chiseled jaw look. I don't think that's how it's supposed to look.
I don't know what it's supposed. I don't know.
I can't do it. I've never mewed before. Wait.
Am I doing it?
I don't know, but why would we say that?
I just like, I feel like when you're trying to give your jaw that chisel, it's giving like that kind of, but I don't know, guys.
Okay, so let me see.
You still look the same.
But I removed it from the top. Okay, so it's not
You're
there.
doing it? No. I don't know.
Okay, next one.
Next.
What is this? Chuggy?
Chewy? Chuggy.
This
like
means
it's
cringe?
Like it's
Chuggy.
Chuggy.
I think cringe comes from millennials or possibly Gen Z. I use cringe. Everything is
cringe is Gen Z. That's not a millennial thing. I never used
What
cringe.
was your word back then?
I don't know.
Okay, anyways. And I don't even know why I'm saying back then, because
Right?
I literally was slam bam in the middle of millennial and Gen Z, so I use both.
Flap.
Okay, so
Yeah,
apparently
flap.
millennial is flap.
Flap.
Yeah, I don't use flap. I never used flap before.
Beta. Beta. Like alpha, beta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so beta would be like second, like lesser than.
Yeah, so it's like you don't have main character energy.
you don't have
Okay.
main character.
Is main character energy like a Gen Z lingo?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
Ah, okay. See, I'm really showing my Gen Z.
I think you are more
self.
Gen Z than millennial.
You know, I am Gen Z when I'm around Gen Zs, and then I'm
makes
very
sense.
millennial when I'm around millennial.
That
because
checks out.
I was with both.
yeah.
So I understand both of them.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely millennial boomer.
Yeah.
mugging. Mugging.
I'm gonna say,
yeah, please. Mug.
No. Whoa.
Like voguing? Like serving?
Did you really think of that, or did you go based on what you heard?
I don't know.
I don't think you thought of that.
I definitely didn't.
Did not think of that.
No, but the voguing to me in my millennial.
Yeah, well, I know what voguing is.
This was voguing.
This is mogging or mugging.
Mugging? I don't. How is it? How is it? Like so you're mugging.
There are so many ways to say you look good. There's
I just feel like it doesn't. To me, some of these slangs or lingos don't correlate with what it should mean. Like, I don't know if mugging sounds positive.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I said, you the mug.
I preferred the Gen Z one that we had. Was it Gen Z that we spoke the last time?
Yeah.
Let's bring back Mona for that one. I like that one more. That made a lot of sense.
This was our last lingo. Please let us know if you knew any of these. I think none of these.
What I also want to know is, where did they get these words from? You know? I think when we spoke with Mona Lee, when we were talking about Gen Z or speaking Gen Z, they spoke of a lot of it coming from different moments on social media, where if you heard someone went viral for saying something that was hilarious or iconic, people steal that sharp moment and they use it for another scenario. But in this case, we're seeing video game usage or lingo, and that's being used for other scenarios.
What the younger ones are doing, these are the kids that were trapped in COVID. And so it's, I guess that's where they were at that time in their lives. And that was like 4 years of just being indoors. So I don't know.
Thoughts on it, guys? Did you get at least one of them?
I got none. I think
really
Stillwater was like the only one that made sense to me.
Yeah, I kind of got that too, honestly. But everything else, I was completely dumbfounded by.
Yeah, I definitely don't speak. And then I don't have Gen Z persons in my office that I work with outside of OIE.
Well, it's Gen Alpha, actually.
Gen Alpha, sorry. I do have Gen Z, sorry, but I don't have Gen Alphas that work outside with me.
Are Gen Alphas working?
I don't know. I think they're like
teenagers.
18.
No, I don't think I ever heard an 18-year-old. Also, I'm not really around 18-year-olds. Okay.
So like I said, I don't have them in my vicinity to like.
All right. Well, thoughts on this, guys? I think we royally failed this one.
We flopped.
We are not able to speak Gen Z, Gen Alpha.
Yes.
But maybe you guys can try your hand at Gen Alpha and talk with your kids. I think they might be saying some
things.
They might be giving you guys some backhanded compliments and you don't even know. So
there you go.
Get yourself versed with the language. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we have more for you.
Hi there. Are you on your phone right now, scrolling on social media, listening to the radio, or watching TV? Have you ever stopped to think, what's powering my device right now? You see, electricity is essential for everyday life, powering our homes, businesses, transportation, and of course, that one binge-worthy series that you just can't stop watching. But how does it all work? This season on the What's and Why's of Energy, we're taking you behind the scenes, bringing you the latest updates and answers to your biggest energy questions. My name is Emmanuel Petch, and I invite you to join us as we go live on Facebook and get ready to see energy in a whole new light. Like, share, and follow us to be part of the conversation.
Belize Electricity Limited, providing you safe and reliable power when you need it.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are wrapping things up, and I have to say, I'll admit to you guys one thing, right? We were struggling a bit with how to approach charades.
Yeah, because and hey, if you want to give us some hints, please let us know, because we got the different musical artists that we were going to, I guess, imitate and mimic for the musical charades. But even though I have the man of the hour on my shirt,
how you mean I do Paul?
I don't know, because even though he's like holding, this is like a very iconic still photo of Paul Nabor. And the Palacio also has an iconic...
Also Aurelio
Martinez.
But show me how you mean I do Super G.
So Super G, I need a shades.
No, but no, I want you to
I can't, because even though, these guys are like...
So this is what I mean.
Everybody to tell me it's easy, but I want you come up here and show me how you
This
do
is how you do
G.
Super G.
All right.
My
phone
on a 19th. Money?
I don't know, because I think for one of them, I think you had a Lover Boy or something like
Did you get Lover Boy?
No.
I didn't.
But I think for...
See, they didn't have the song though.
They wouldn't have had this song, because then you would guess automatically who it is, right? And in my mind, Super G, that one, and people are telling he can't punners. So I guess you wouldn't punner, right? You'd kind of do like Ali.
No, with Super G, you just say...
Like I see nobody, you can't see me like John Cena. Just to ask.
Anyway,
but we're
gonna try it again.
We are going to be prepared for this musical show. I want to get it down, because I think if it was song instead of artist, I think we would have it.
Yeah.
Right?
You guys need more iconic moments that we can identify. We know
but Lord Rayburn, we could have made the Lord Rayburn.
Yeah, I got Lord Rayburn.
Like Ali. Yeah, kind of situation. We could have done that, but you have to kind of
everything else
really
be
think
painful.
about it. Yes, but let us know what you would have done for musical.
And would this be something that you would try at home? We have the weekend coming up. How do you guys engage with your families and have some family bonding time and make it Belizean style as well? We want to know that.
But Sabrina, it is July 4th, and we have a very special birthday shout out. Yes, we want to say a happy early birthday to Brianna Usher from your dad, Alvin, and of course, they're one of our wonderful cameramen.
Woo!
Happy birthday. Her birthday is tomorrow, July 5th.
Alvin, let me give you an even bigger opportunity, Alvin. You want to come on here really quickly and wave and say happy birthday?
Come say hi to Brianna.
If you don't do it, you're not, you don't love her enough.
Oh my, don't say that.
No, but I'll tell you this.
Brianna. Happy
Alvin absolutely loves his daughter.
He does.
We talk about her all the time here at the office. We often say he is a fantastic fantastic father. And
Yes.
just him ensuring that we made sure
Yes,
we
he
gave
was like,
her
hey,
that
I'm gonna have
birthday
my
shout
baby
out.
birthday on the rundown. He made sure.
We know that
indeed.
she is pretty special
Happy
to him.
birthday, Brianna. And I also have a birthday shout out myself. I want to say a happy birthday to Carla. Happy birthday, Carla, from Jasher and from all of us at home. We hope you have a wonderful birthday, Papa.
And to anyone else celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you as well. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oye@channel5belize.com.
You can also catch our live stream on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ.
As well as Instagram for behind the scenes contents. That's OYE Belize.
And of course, you can call us or text us at our OYE number at 675-2555.
Well, that does it for our show. What the Friday edition?
What the Friday?
And I know you might be wondering, where did Paul go? Of course, he had official business to take on, and so you'll definitely see him a little bit later on in the day. Of course, covering news stories as well. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us, and please do us a favor and join us again on Monday when you open your eyes
to start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open. Have a wonderful weekend, please. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.